Good morning, positive thinkers. Thank you so much for joining us on our July online meeting. Typically, we are at the Bella Vista doing our thing in the physical environment. Right now, we are limited to what we can do in our physical environment. So here we are online connecting and ensuring that people are getting in their positive vibes. Our group has been on the go for 31 years. And just a little history about our club. We formed 31 years ago. Dave Radofsky and John Snow formed our club. They attended a seminar in 1988, and that was given off by Brian Tracy. He is a human relations and just a very motivational person who visited Newfoundland. And Dave and John seen an opportunity to start a club to create a community of people who are looking to get positive vibes and just a way to connect with people who are like-minded, or even if you're a negative thinker, to join the club and learn more about how you can be more positive. And we form every month, the last day of every month, or sorry, the last Saturday of every month. And we have a guest speaker, we have breakfast at the Bella Vista, and it's just a way for us to get together and really share with each other. So we have guest speakers from all different groups. We usually keep them local, and we're happy today to have a great lineup. We have Sheldon Crocker, who is on our board and also a Positive Thinker member, and he will be doing our affirmations for today. And we also have Sarah Hansen, and she is here with us to share all about an organization in our community called Kirtan. And she's going to share her information, how she got involved with that, and also she's going to bring us through a chant as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, just 1 second, I do have to mute everybody. I forgot to do that. Okay. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I would like to introduce to you Sheldon Crocker. Sheldon is our public relations person on our board, takes care of our social media, and today he is going to share his view on affirmations. If you are comfortable with unmuting yourself during the affirmations while we're saying them, because there will be ones that are repeated, you can certainly do so, but if you don't feel comfortable, you can keep yourself muted. So thank you, Sheldon, for sharing with us today.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Katie, for tricking me into doing the affirmations this morning. I'm going to do it a bit differently than most people do theirs. I do most things against the norm anyway. For those of you who don't know me, thanks, Katie, I'm Sheldon. I'm currently the Director of Public Relations with the club. Being a part of this group has taught me so much about myself and others, as well as the benefits of repeating daily affirmations towards having a positive mental attitude and health. When we think we have a great chance to share our ideas, we are likely to feel positive, which makes us more empowered and relaxed. One way to capitalize on our own self-fulfilling prophecy is to use positive affirmations. In the past, I've been known as having a bad case of the shoulds. I should do this, I should do this, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. I've learned how to quiet that toxic voice. Sometimes it still tries to be heard, but with positive affirmations and self-talk, I'm able to keep it muzzled. We have to save ourselves little by little, day by day, build a home, take care of our own bodies. I'd like to share 2 poems. Very short poems that I wrote. One of them, and I feel like what we're discussing here today, one of them is called Who Am I? Who am I that I should judge the moralities of men or of a person? What right have I to criticize, dishonor, or condemn? Who am I to seek the truth and refuse falsification, while I take part in idle talk and rumored conversation? Who am I that I should ask forgiveness for my errors, yet not forgive a fellow person, my neighbors, nor forbearers? Who am I to think that I possess no worthy sequel, when in the sight of God we are humankind, created equal? So that's one. And another was called How Can We? How can we love our neighbor if we can't love our brother? How can we respect ourselves if we can't respect another? How can we display criticism, then refuse to take it? How can we make a promise, then turn around and break it? How can we condone gossip, only to spread it, damaging our neighbor's character, then deny we said it? All the things we deem to do, showing no remorse. How to get back on track when it's us who go off course. So I have a few affirmations I'd like for us to repeat. I'm sure we all know how affirmations work. So I'm going to say it, and hopefully we're going to repeat it together. The first one, I have a right to love myself.
I have a
Respect
right to love myself.
Respect myself.
Respect
Respect
myself.
myself.
And to stand up for myself.
And
And
to
to
stand up for myself.
I accept my right to my shortcomings.
I accept my right to my shortcomings.
I don't feel guilty for not being perfect.
I don't feel guilty
guilty
for not
Not
being
feeling
perfect.
perfect.
And finally, I accept myself as I am.
I
I accept myself
am.
as I am.
And that's my affirmations for today. And hopefully you enjoy the rest of the meeting. Thank you.
Sheldon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheldon. Affirmations are so important. And when I joined the club 7 years ago, I had no idea what they were about. And I'm very grateful to have found the club, and I've learned so much about affirmations and how you can use them to really change your thoughts and your patterns in your mind. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Sheldon, for sharing those ones. It's a total different view, and freedom is very, very important, especially these days with everything going on. So now we're going to move on to our guest speaker for today, and I'm just going to do a little introduction for Sarah. Sarah Hansen is a graphic artist, yoga and meditation teacher, and a musician from St. John's. She started the interfaith devotional chanting group Kirtan St. John's in 2018, and she is the current group's musical director. She is passionate about powerful positive effects of chanting in Sanskrit and is devoted to helping raise the vibration of the planet and all of its inhabitants. Sarah will be speaking today about the powerful positive effects of devotional chanting, also known as Bhakata. I think I'm saying that right. You can correct me. Yoga. She will share with the group how she became involved in this practice and how chanting brings meaning, purpose, joy, and well-being into her life and the lives of others. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being here with us today. And sharing everything with us. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to send it over to you to speak and lead us, and let me know when you want me to put up the chant on the screen, and I will share that. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's kind of a good segue into what I'm going to talk about, because affirmations are very much like chanting. It's the same idea. Einstein said everything in life is vibration. Everything is vibrating and resonating at a certain rate. Everything in nature, our bodies, animals, trees, rocks, everything vibrates. And everything has its own unique vibration. So, you know, we hear about it a lot, about positive vibes. We say, oh, we got to have positive, keep your vibes positive. And it's so true, because if we let our vibrations get low, we get kind of dark, you know. Low vibration activities are things like, you know, gossiping and talking about people and bad-mouthing people, blaming people. Blame is a huge one. So when you express things like love and joy and gratitude and abundance and all those kinds of things, you're raising your vibration when you're doing that. And that's what we want to do. We want to be in a high vibrational place all the time. When we keep our vibes up, we're much more clear. We're much more clear about our intention. We're much more clear about our connection to others. So there are different ways you can do that. Like I said, you can, even just expressing gratitude and affirmations are a great way of keeping your vibrations high. But one way that we like to do meditation is another way. Meditation and breath work is another way of keeping your vibrations high. Because when you're meditating and you're in the present moment, you're resonating with your own true self and with the truth. So meditation and breath work really benefits your state of being, and it raises your vibrations quite quickly. So chanting does the same thing. Chanting can rise up your vibrations real fast. And the chanting that we do at Kirtan St. John's is we chant in Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is a spiritual language that's not spoken anymore much. It's not a language that people speak in the way we're speaking English right now. It's actually just a spiritual language that's shared between Hinduism and Buddhism. And the basic premise of the Sanskrit language is that every single word and every single syllable has a vibration. And so each syllable or each word or each mantra in Sanskrit, it is said to contain the qualities of the mantra within the vibration of the word or the string of words. So if you say Shanti, Shanti is a word that a lot of people have heard before. You've heard people say Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Shanti means peace. So in Sanskrit, it's believed that the word Shanti contains the vibration of peace in it. So when we share that word with people and we say that word, the resonating of that word, the vibration of the word goes out into the world. First, it affects our own bodies because we're saying it. And then it goes out into the world and it affects others. So when we chant mantras, the vibrations that the Sanskrit mantras have, they can contain words that create healing for people, they can create peace for people. I'm sure Sheldon can attest to this, that when we chant for an hour, when we're done, everybody kind of floats out of there and is kind of like, oh, this is amazing, Everybody feels fabulous. And we do it on a Friday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. And people say that they carry that with them all weekend. Often people will say, I can carry that with me all weekend, and it can keep me in a higher vibrational state for quite some time. And of course, because it's music and it's basically songs, you can invoke them at any time. You can start singing them anytime you want and bring your vibes up again. So in Sanskrit, in the chanting that we do, it's called Bhakti Yoga. So you've probably all heard of the Hare Krishnas, right? The Hare Krishnas, they go around chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So they're the real Bhakti Yogas. They're an offshoot of Hinduism that's their main focus, is to chant and sing in a devotional way. So the devotional component of what we do is basically, we chant for an hour and ultimately, what we're doing is we're saying thank you to the universe. We're saying thank you for an hour once a week, raising up the vibrations and saying thank you to the universe for everything it does for us every moment of every day. So in Bhakti Yoga, the songs are often called bhajans. And it's mostly a Hindu practice, where Sikhs do it as well. Who else does it? Well, the Hare Krishnas. There's one more. But anyway, what we do in Hinduism, there are, I think they say they have something like 33 million gods and goddesses. So they all have names. We only chant about maybe 10 of them, the main ones. So we say that by each one of the Hindu gods and goddesses has a different set of characteristics. you know, Krishna is all about love. Krishna is all about love and having fun. And so when we chant about Krishna, we invoke love and in ourselves and in others. All the different deities have different characteristics. So when we chant about them, we invoke those characteristics, and the vibrational energy of those characteristics comes out because we're saying it. I mean, everybody knows from doing affirmations how powerful it is when you repeat something. When you say it over and over, it can completely change your life. You know, if you have 3 or 4 affirmations you say every morning, and you do that, within a week you're going to see something shift. You know, so we chant for about an hour, and it really makes a huge difference to everybody. You know, I have people come to me all the time afterwards and say, "Oh, this helps me so much. It helps me so much." And we have a YouTube page, a YouTube channel, so we record our practice sometimes, and people can listen to it on there if in the middle of the week and get the same effect. So I guess probably one of the main Sanskrit words that's a chant that is the simplest one that everybody knows is Om. We've all heard about Om. And they say that Om is the sound of the universe. It's the first sound that was ever made. And in Sanskrit, they call it a seed mantra or a bija mantra because it's very simple. It's just one syllable. And it's said to be like the vibration of universal consciousness has the sound Om. So we do a lot of oming at our practice. We om 3 times when we begin. We om 3 times at the end. A lot of our songs have the word Om in them. So that's another example of a word that we use a lot. Some of the deities that we sing about are Krishna, Shiva, Durga, Kali, all these different gods and goddesses, and they all have all these amazing qualities that we invoke when we sing about them. And we really feel that they're there with us. And in Hinduism, it is a polytheistic religion, but basically they have all these millions of gods and goddesses, but they believe that as a whole, it's God. You know, as one, when you bring them all together, it's God. So chanting with other people is very, very powerful because all of your intention is the same. I mean, if everybody sat in a room and did all their affirmations together, right? You know, it's a powerful thing when everybody does it together. So when we chant together, it's really powerful. It really lifts everyone up and changes everything. And basically, they're songs. They're fairly simple songs that are repetitive. So mostly what we do is a call and response style. So I lead the chanting. So I am either playing the guitar or the harmonium, and I will sing the first line and everyone repeats it. They sing it back to me. And that's, most of our songs are done that way. We do have some where we all sing together. But a lot of them are the call and response style, which is really fun. I've always loved it because I always feel like it's like sitting around a campfire, you know, and it's like when you'd sing like row, row, row your boat and do that kind of thing and everybody repeat it. So, and it's really wonderful to hear everyone sing together. The call and response style is great because it gives a chance for everybody to have a rest from singing. So I sing, and then I listen to everyone else sing, you know, and when I sing, they all listen to me sing. So we get sort of inspired by each other. They listen to me and they're inspired by the beauty of one voice. And then I listen to them when they repeat, and I get to hear the magnificence of many voices together, which is so beautiful. So it's a really powerful practice, and I really feel quite strongly that this is something that is important. And I tell everybody when we're doing it, we're doing important work here. You know, make no mistake. We're raising the vibration of everything when we do this, and it stays with people for a long time. So I feel like this group can really understand the concept of positive vibrations, and this is that in a very literal sense, through music and through chanting, through words. And, you know, it can bring a lot to your life. It can, some people are a little bit weirded out by singing in another language, a strange language that they've never heard before. And they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to say these words that I don't know what they mean. But all these words, mostly we say words of adoration, coupled with the names of the gods and goddesses. So we're just saying, you know, beloved Krishna or sweet Krishna, you know, and we, you know, they're all strung together. There's different mantras, like Om Namah Shivaya is one that maybe some people have heard of, and that's an invocation of Shiva. And Shiva is one of the main Hindu gods and goddesses, and he is known as the destroyer. And he destroys things in order for new life to come. He destroys things in order, anything that gets in the way of our connection to God and to a higher consciousness, Shiva will destroy it. But Shiva is also a dancer and loves to dance. So there's lots of joyful dancing every time. Whenever we sing about Shiva, people often get up and dance. So, and that's another thing we do. We do have dancing as well with our group. When people feel compelled, they can get up and dance, and it's not a problem. Currently, we're meeting and distancing. We're at the Lantern when the weather's bad, at the Lantern on Friday evenings from 7 to 8, and we're distancing at 8 feet apart because singing is considered a higher risk activity. So we're distanced at 8 feet apart. We have smaller groups in the summer because people go to their cabins and stuff after work on Friday. So our numbers tend to pick back up again in September when people aren't going to their cabins so much anymore. So I have a chant that I'd like to share with everybody. It's quite difficult on Zoom to do these things, but the best way to do it is if I'm not muted and everybody else is. Because if we hear everybody, it's just going to be a chaos of sound. So if you just want to give me, I think I can put that text in the chat too, Katie. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is a chant about Krishna. Narayana is another name for Krishna. Govinda is another name for Krishna. Gopala is another name for Krishna. So I'm going to get my guitar. So the pronunciation is sort of important. Everything in Sanskrit, when we have an A, it's always an ah, which is kind of difficult. I like to joke that the only time Newfoundlanders say a word with ah in it is when a doctor sticks a tongue depressor in their mouth. Because we don't say that. We'll say like garage instead of garage, right? So it can be a little bit to wrap your head around to say this ah for the A. So it's, but the rest of the pronunciation is pretty cut and dry. So I'm just going to say the words first, and you can listen to my pronunciation before I sing them. So Hari, so the R's are generally rolled a little bit, or they can sometimes sound like a D. You can hear that. Hari, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Gopala, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Jaya Krishna, Krishna Hare, Jaya Govinda. So Krishna is generally pronounced with a rolled R, and there's actually no I in there. So we don't say Krishna, we say Krishna. It's more like percussive. So I'm going to get my guitar. Do a little tuning. So this song, this is quite a joyful song. The part at the end, the Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, that part, it's very sweet, and people really love this song. People get a lot out of it. you know, we're all kind of connected through these songs now. Our group, you know, we've sang them together so many times, and everybody just loves them so much, and they get a lot out of them. And we really love it when people can come and express their bliss in through these songs. I should also mention that when we chant, we all have our eyes closed. Everybody sits in the room and we all close our eyes, and the practice is an eyes closed practice. So you can go inward, you can go into your inner world, and you can experience with, you know, when you take away, as everybody knows, you take away one of your senses, your other senses are heightened. So when we take away the visual of everything around us, we can really go inward and we can really feel the effects of the chanting on our bodies. And it's pretty life-changing for a lot of people. They love it. So I'm gonna sing it quite slowly to begin with. I'll probably just sing it 3 or 4 times maybe, and you can repeat or not, but I will sing Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana. There will be space. Do it enough times. I can't really see the time on my computer anymore. So Katie, maybe you can.
I think we're getting a little bit of disturbance. I think we're just one second now. I can, so I will probably do a little wave. Is that okay?
Yes,
for time?
please. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all
perfect.
Right. Perfect.
Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Gopala, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, 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 Jaya Govinda. Jaya Gopala, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Gopala, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Gopala, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Govinda. One more round. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Gopala, Jaya Govinda. Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Jaya Krishna Krishna Hare, Jaya Govinda. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jaya Govinda. So at our kirtan practice, after each song, we meditate for a couple of minutes. We as soon as the song ends, we all sit, we close our eyes, and we just, it's like you let the song wash over you then. You know, you sit and you kind of process what just happened. And maybe for two minutes or 3 minutes or so, you sit and you can feel it. You can feel all these vibrations washing over your body, and you can feel the well-being that it creates. You can really feel it in your body. And it's very powerful. And that's a big part of what we do, because the silence is a big part of the song as well, right? Because if we didn't have the silence, we wouldn't be able to, you know, take that time to be able to appreciate the song. So there you
That's wonderful. Absolutely. Like when I first started, I felt a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A little bit, but as you went through it and I started to repeat, I felt like, I don't know, I guess it's in my heart.
Yep.
Just felt very relaxed, and I'm feeling really relaxed right now.
Yep.
It was beautiful.
It does that. It has a way of doing that where it's like the sounds just wash all over you. And there's something really liberating about singing all these words that you don't know. They don't have the weight of the words that you know, right? So it can open you up to the idea that these words have a different vibrational effect on us, because we're not looking at these words as though they have all the weight of our own perception and our own upbringing and all that. Words like for example, the words that they use in hymns and things, you know, like it's not, if we were saying words God and things like that, these words are really heavy for a lot of people, and they're not open to that, you know. So I grew up in a family where, you know, we had to go to church every Sunday, a Baptist church, and, you know, singing hymns was a big part of being in that church. And the only thing I liked about going to church was singing the hymns, right? That was the only part I liked. And, but the language of it never really felt right to me. You know, it was so heavy and so weighted and kind of judgmental in a lot of ways, and admonishing and all those things that that language can have. But when you sing in another language, it doesn't have that, and you can release your mind just to the vibrational energy of the words, you know, without adding all this added weight to them of what you think the words might be about. So, and it's very interesting to wrap your mouth around all the words if you're interested in speaking other languages. If you like that idea of pronunciation and feeling things in your mouth in that way, it's really great that way too. It's really fun to try to pronounce everything correctly, you know.
It was beautiful. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And just the relation and affirmations, I can see similarities, but music has a vibrational difference than just speaking words. And I feel very, very amazing right now. I want to thank you, of course, but I want to also just open it up to our members and anybody who's joined us. If they have any questions for you, if they have any comments, you are more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask away if you have any comments for Sarah.
I guess if anybody wanted to type a comment.
Yeah, you can type a comment too, or a question if you wish.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Sarah, for coming along and doing this morning. I really appreciate it. It was a really fantastic hour last night, and it was good to continue again this morning. I'd go for this for 24 hours around the clock. It's great. I only started less than a year ago myself doing the kirtan, and I got to say, I've been known in my entire life to have a very racing mind, thoughts going like crazy. But since I joined, it's so peaceful and so centering each time I'm there. And my life is after becoming so much more calm because I joined this group, and not only because I joined the group, because I'm after taking it outside of the group as well, and I'm doing it for myself the times when we're not getting together. So I just want to thank you, and I'm just grateful that I found kirtan. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So it's actually kind of yoga. There's a lot of different kinds of yoga. That's something people don't know. People think that yoga is just doing different poses. There's a lot of different kinds of yoga. And, you know, there's karma yoga, which is something that Mother Teresa practiced. You know, you do all your good deeds and you hope for good karma for your next life. There's japa yoga, which is the yoga of, you know, meditating with your mala, with your beads, which I'm wearing. So you count them and you say you can use a mala beads to chant affirmations. You could just chant, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can chant, I am worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy. Whatever you want to chant, you can do it. Hare Krishna, whatever it is. Hatha yoga is the one with all the poses that we think of as the physical practice. And then there's bhakti yoga, which is the yoga of devotion. And that's what we do, because what we do is about devotion. Are we having an unstable connection? I just got a message that said it was an unstable connection.
You're back again. It just faded in and out a little bit. It's all good. Appreciate you being here with us. And if anybody else has any questions, you're free to unmute yourself. You have Joel.
Yeah, no questions per se. I just wanted to thank you, Sarah, for sharing with us this morning. It's I found it very calming, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect and anticipate. And I'm picking up on the word that Sheldon used, because that word really resonated with me, because I think it best describes how I felt as I listened to you go through the chants, and it was something that I had not been exposed to before. So it was quite. I find it quite amazing. It's one of the things I love about positive thinkers. We have individuals like yourself that come out and share your gifts, and thank you so much for doing that this morning.
You're very welcome. It's initially kind of strange. You know, when I was first exposed to it in yoga teacher training in 2014, when I was living in Guatemala, I was like, this is stupid. I don't like it. You know, I don't want to do this. You know? And then the more I did it, you know, that's one of those things that, you know, sometimes in your life when you have a real resistance to something, it's something you need to investigate a little bit. And I knew that enough that that's what I did. I was kind of like, why don't I like this? And I'm a musician, and I'm a bit, you know, musicians can be snobby about other musicians. So the people that were playing were not very good musicians. So I was judging their ability and losing the whole message of it just because of that, right? And then so I didn't really enjoy it during the yoga teacher training, but then afterward, you know, I started going to a big kirtan that was happening once a week. 250 people there, 300 people there. And it was just the most amazing experience, and just so powerful, so powerful. Ashok, watching from India. Oh, hi. Is Ashok, do I know you? I feel like your name is familiar to me.
Wow, that's amazing. Someone from India.
Yeah.
Yay.
It might be somebody from the Kirtan group. I don't know.
Excellent.
Anyway.
Thank you for being here.
If anybody wants to come, we have lots of ways to get in contact. We have our Facebook page is Kirtan St. John, so Kirtan. It's pronounced Kirtan. There's no accent on one or the other. Kirtan. So it's Kirtan St. John's. This is our Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel, Kirtan St. John's. We have, we're setting up our website now. We have an email, we have everything. But, you know, between the YouTube and the Facebook, usually, our email, if anybody wants it, is kirtanyyt@gmail.com, which I suppose I can type in the chat.
That would be lovely. And it looks like his daughter is studying in Memorial University. So that's awesome.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Name sounds familiar. Ashok Kumar sounds familiar. So if anybody wants to join us, what happens in the summer, and of course COVID times are making things different too. We used to practice at the Shambhala Shrine Room on Lamarching Road, but it's too small now for us to practice there because we have the distance at 8 feet when we chant. So we've had to move our practice to the Lantern. We're in the dining room at the Lantern. If the group gets too big, we're going to go into the big conference room. So, but if the weather is good, it's a sunny evening, 17 or 18 degrees on a Friday evening and not raining, which it hasn't been for a while. If it's nice enough out, we are in the new gazebo at Bannerman Park. So the gazebo that's closest to Military Road, we're in there, and we suggest you bring something to sit on if you're coming to that practice, a chair or a cushion or something like that. So every Friday from 7 to 8, we suggest that people bring a $5 donation. We're, of course, not for profit, but we do have to pay for the room at the Lantern, and we do have other things that we get for the group that are helpful, you know, lyrics, booklets, and things like that. But we have a wonderful group. I think we might have close to 400 people in our Facebook group. And we probably have a rotating group of about 150 people who come and go. Because of COVID and because of summer. I guess last night we had 8 or 9 people. But you know, a month ago in the park, we must have had 25 people. And it's pretty powerful, and it's a beautiful group of people. If anybody has interest in spirituality, if you have an interest in spirituality, if you have an interest in meditation, singing, other languages, all those things, it's a great place for that. And we have some beautiful members, really wonderful people who are very devoted to the practice and come every week, like Sheldon, who wouldn't miss it. And he's really, you know, he's experienced it himself, and it brings so much joy and bliss and peace to everyone who's there. And we have fun raising the vibes. We call it happy hour, actually.
Lovely. A different type of happy hour, which is great. We need more. We need more of those hours here in Newfoundland. Right. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And I feel amazing. I know my Saturday is going to be really good. I hope that everybody else is feeling the same type of vibration. I will, so for next month, just a little bit of information. We will be online again unless something drastically happens with the venue and we can start gathering in our space. So next month, our date will be, get this up here, it's the last Saturday of every month, even while we're online. So we have August 29th at 10 a.m. And I believe we have our guest speaker. I'm just, Allison, I don't know if you want to unmute and confirm for me, but I believe we have Allison Rideout of Rain Riot, and she's an artist and a trauma survivor. So I'm hoping that we can confirm her. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Katie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Allison is on for August.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So she's a local artist and I believe a business owner as well.
Yes.
And
yeah.
So we're going to get her information all ready to send out to our membership. And if you're not part of our group, we do have a Facebook group, Positive Thinkers Newfoundland. If you search that, you'll find us. And we also have a website, www.positivethinkers.nl.ca. And we do post our guest speakers there as well. And we also have a newsletter now. We used to do that physically, so we'd have a piece of paper to give to all of our members. But right now we're online for that. So on our website, there's a little, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a place where you can subscribe to our newsletter. And this month we focused on Sarah and her profile. We have our last meeting posted as well, so you can go and do a playback of that. And we also cover our board members. So I didn't mention that, but we have many board members who are a highlight in our newsletter as well. And this month we focused on Alex Suey, who is our past president, and some information about him, and just some positive vibes in our newsletter. So if you're interested in that, please sign up. And for now, I'm going to close our meeting. And thank you everyone for being here. Sheldon for doing affirmations, Sarah for being our guest speaker, and just for being here in the space. And we'll see you all next month. Take care, everybody.
Have a good month, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Have a great Saturday.
Thanks, everyone.
Katie. Have a great weekend.